there has been an invasion, an inkcation. I.N.K.T has invaded the colorful resort you live in and is sucking the colorful life out of everyone and everything they can. As the Blob, you need to take it back. I'm Thomas from wisegamer.com, and this is my review of The Blob, developed by Blue Tongue Entertainment and Blitworks, published by THQ Nordic. Hey guys, Thomas from wisegamer.com here, bringing you my review of I.N.K.T. So the story goes that the evil I.N.K.T group has invaded, and they are removing the color from everything and everyone around you. You have to recolor the city, painting the town red, blue, green, purple, orange, and just all the colors. Paint the town all the colors. This game really just came out on April 27th on Steam, but it was actually more of a reboot that came out. It was on the Wii originally, and I think a few other consoles as well. I don't know exactly when, I think it was a few years back, but this reboot basically brought updated graphics as well as a few other things. And as a game that I never really heard of before, I actually quite enjoyed it. So moving into that gameplay, The Blob's a simple game with simple mechanics. It's actually quite fun though. I truly, honestly never even heard of this game before I picked it up just recently here. And when I started to check it out, I thought it was something similar to Splatoon, and I found that there were some similarities with the color mechanics and things like that, but truly it's its own unique platformer. As the Blob, your character, your goal is basically to get around the world and get it back into color while taking out the evil I.N.K.T Corporation. These I.N.K.T Corporation are these black and white guys. They only want black and white. It's like a military thing where it's very much uniform and all that type of stuff. So they try to suck all the color out of the world. You're trying to get it back. You're part of an underground resistance basically to do that. So you collect these various colors, you can use them, and you can even mix them in things too to paint everything around you. So if you remember your basic art class, for example, you can grab a red paint, and then you can grab a blue paint and you'll make purple. So you can start painting with purple instead, or blue and yellow and you get your green or something like that, or red and yellow, that makes orange. So within each section of the world, you can do these different things of just generally painting the buildings and trees and stuff like that around you to add color back, which you get points for. But there's also different side quests and tasks to complete as well, and those give you extra time within the area to complete the overall story, find different collectibles and things like that. So that basically will give you the ability to progress into each region. So they actually start out where they have kind of a locked-in region within the story. So with each one, there's like a gate you have to pass. So you have to do so much within that area to be able to unlock the gate and move on. At its core, The Blob is really a fairly simplistic platforming game, but the ability to do things like wall jump to spring yourself around, collect various things like color patterns, finish the side quests, and what amounts to be kind of a fairly simplistic storyline, it really rounds out the gameplay to be a fun experience. I plan to go back and play it a few more times here. It's kind of something I think is a fairly casual game, but it's something I can pick up, play for maybe a half hour, and set back down when I just want to kill some time. So wrapping this section up, I know there is a multiplayer mechanic as well as a free roam mode, and I didn't get to check out the multiplayer myself, but I know it goes up to 4 players in a split screen type pattern, and I believe there's some other things there as well. And I mean, I've seen some footage of the multiplayer. It looks like it's going to be quite fun as well. Visually, the game is beautiful. I mean, sure, it starts off with everything in black and gray around you because that's kind of the story, but as you start painting the world, these gorgeous splashes of color come out. Saturation is quite high. The environment's very, very vibrant and colorful in that sense, so that saturation level does get pretty high and not necessarily overwhelming or anything. It really fits the style of the game, and those bright colors, the happy citizens, after you save them of course, and overall just a feel-good experience. It was kind of a really nice thing to experience. I actually just completed the story Outlast 2 yesterday, so I was streaming it, finished it yesterday, after all those horrors and scares and psychological parts that go with Outlast. Coming into this game today and just kind of doing a nice woosah, relaxing, calming, bright colors and things like that. It was really a nice change of pace and something that, again, when people play FPS all the time, I think this will be something that is something you can play casually and just kind of calm down to, I guess, if that makes sense. Now, moving into the audio, I was very impressed by what the developers did here. When you start a level, you can actually pick the mood of music that you want to listen to, and there's really kind of a few options here as well to kind of just set, again, whatever mood you want to actually play to. All of them were great for the ones that I tried out, and even some more genres are able to be unlocked later too. So there's different things you can complete, and that's part of the collectible replayability we'll get into here in a second. So, I mean, really, I love the soundtrack. I think it really fit perfect for the atmosphere. It sets the mood of this kind of tropical resort type thing where, as you add this color back in, all this music starts getting louder and playing and all that type of stuff. Now, talking about that replayability, the game really does have a lot to offer in my opinion. Outside of the various story missions that I've talked about, you also receive a rank on every area based on how well you did. And there's actually various collectibles in those areas too, so trying to complete 100% on everything is actually going to take quite a bit of time. You have free roam options, you have the multiplayer option as well, and really this just kind of makes a complete package that should give you well above your money's worth in my opinion. I always like to talk about that dollar amount for the amount of hours you can put into it, and again I keep talking about how it's kind of a casual game you can go back to and pick up this different stuff. I really think that's where this fits in my library, at least on how I'll be playing it. So they have the collectibles, like the different paint patterns. There's certain ones, I know like the first story mission area has 12 of them I believe you have to collect. There's other things like, you know, painting 100% of the area. So literally like you can paint the different buildings and stuff, but sometimes the different environment objects can be painted too. So if you 100% that, that's another unlock. There's a lot of little things like that that you can collect and pick up and do within each area too. So you can kind of keep going back and playing. So overall, I mean, I would absolutely recommend a Blob if you're looking for one of those casual indie platformers that has a lot of fun mechanics and different collectibles that you keep coming back to. I really do think that this could be my next time killer. You know, I keep saying if I just want to relax after work or after a stream or just kind of play something casually and not have to think so hard, I really think that this is something I can go and just slowly unlock everything in the game, keep coming back to, and again, it's a fun enough mechanic that I would enjoy just kind of running around in the game. For $14.99, I think it's priced really competitively, and it's one of those things you can feel happy with the value that you get from it with all these different options you can go back to keep playing with. Combine the gameplay with great visuals and that awesome soundtrack as well, and again, complete package here. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. I've been Thomas with wisegamer.com, and this has been my review of the Blob. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.